After a series of favorable occurrences, the value of XRP has been steadily increasing over the past few days, as reported by the news today. An announcement regarding the RLUSD Ripple stablecoin was made at the Ripple Swell event not too long ago. And companies such as Wallstreet have also submitted a large number of XRP exchange-traded funds ETFs. However, the most significant change is the lawsuit brought by the SEC against Ripple, which has once again moved in a direction that is very intriguing. For this reason, within the context of this Ripple case, today was supposed to be the final day for the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) to submit their Form C, which would explain why they are appealing and what they are appealing. Moon Lambo asserts that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) had 1 hour to submit their Form C in response to their legal challenge to the judge's decision. It was his assertion that their appeal would be dismissed if they did not submit it by the deadline stipulated. Therefore, they would have to conform to the decision that Josh Toy made, and XRP would emerge victorious in their case. Due to the fact that the SEC did not meet that deadline, what does this imply? There are a few different explanations that could be responsible for their appeal not being included in the dockets. One of the reasons is that there were delays in the core system, which means that there was a period of time that passed between the time that the document was submitted and the time that it was included in the public docket. You could also consider the possibility that it was submitted under seal, which would make it impossible to do so. Either they are not yet accessible to the general public or there was an error in the filing. Both of these possibilities are possible. To buy more time, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) could have simply lied. It is extremely difficult to determine what took place. In these words, Jeremy Hogan is attempting to determine whether or not we have made a mistake with the timeframe, which it appears that we could have done. A reporter for Fox Business named Elena Tarahish reveals to us that this document, which was submitted to the Second Circuit, states that the notice of appeal made by the Securities and Exchange Commission was sent on the 2nd. However, it wasn't docketed until after the deadline, which means that the actual deadline is today, October 18th. I believe that the reason that XRP is currently experiencing a surge in value is because people are concerned that the SEC might fail to meet that deadline. Should they continue to do so, the appeal will be dismissed. According to Jeremy Hogan, he is going to have an additional 10,000 XRP purchased just in case. Currently, I do not believe that there is any possibility that the SEC will fail to meet this deadline. When all is said and done, Gabby Gensler is the individual that we are discussing. Elena Tara received a response from the SEC this morning while I was in the process of editing this video. According to a spokesperson, the appeal is proceeding according to the plan, and the documents will be made available to the public in the near future. As far as this boxing match between Ripple and the SEC is concerned, it appears that round 250 has yet to begin, although Ripple is clearly in the lead. The fact that the SEC refused to give up, despite the fact that they had a broken arm and an eye, was extremely frustrating. According to crypto law, Gary Gensler ought to give up on this appeal because of the mess that was made with the filing. This case is continuing to make its way toward the Supreme Court of the United States from this point forward. Because Gensler's legacy was not successful, the power of the SEC is in jeopardy presently. There is no question that this chairman is a terrible person who is actively working to destroy an organization that the SEC has done for. A bipartisan agreement against SAP 121 was vetoed by the Biden administration, and Congress urged the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) to take it back. However, the SEC does not appear to have taken any action regarding this matter. According to Mike Flood, a Republican, Gary Gensler ought to be held accountable because we require innovative ideas rather than ineffective regulators of the industry. After that, Monica Long, the president of Ripple, stated on Bloomberg that Gary Gensler has been actively pursuing cryptocurrency for a longer period of time. What is the reason for the current level of uncertainty? A long list of things that could go wrong is included on the list, and it includes everything from stablecoins to exchanges. What is the source of the most stress for you? Consequently, if we take a look at the world as a whole, we can see that a great number of nations are doing things correctly and are helping to establish the standard. As examples, consider Singapore, Hong Kong, the United Kingdom, and Brazil. Europe, in order to clarify the situation, Europe devised a plan using the name MiCA, which brought together a total of 27 different countries. There should be a well-defined strategy for the regulation of crypto assets and the circumstances in which they can be utilized. there is a great deal of disorder and muddle in the United States. Given this fact, we are in desperate need of our policymakers in Congress to assume a greater degree of responsibility. Regulatory agencies such as the Commodity Futures Trading Commission (CFTC) are making significant efforts to comprehend and take a stance on a number of these cases and technologies. Putting out a paper on cloud computing. On the other hand, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has been on a warpath for a number of years now, having only taken enforcement actions and not really making the rules clear. This course of action has been taken by Chair Gary Gensler. After hearing the phrase warpath, I find myself thinking, at the same time, in the past year, the United States has allowed exchange-traded funds ETFs for both Ether and its Bitcoin. Having said that, it does not appear that the government or the SEC has always been an extremely hostile environment toward cryptocurrency. In the event that someone were to argue the same point against you, what statements would you make? That is a possibility because of the judicial system. It was a very difficult situation for the SEC to be in. More than once, the courts in the United States have demonstrated how to proceed. Taking the Brayscales case on the exchange-traded fund as an example, they did exactly that. Xrp was ruled not to be a security by the United States courts once more in the case of CCVs. Ripple, which took place in 2011, that's a positive thing. This clarifies the situation for both our company and the industry we operate in. One of the reasons why I do not believe Gary Gensler will stop playing shortstop at this time is because of this. I really want him to just leave because it is obvious that he is already lost. I really want him to leave. However, we are currently in possession of significant news from blockchaindaily.it has been reported that CME Group and Wallstreet have reached a consensus that exchange-traded funds ETFs based on XRP are becoming more likely. Consequently, the lawsuit has been dismissed and the case has been resolved. News, and this is the reason why I have a bullish outlook on XRP. I am optimistic because I believe that the cryptocurrency bull run will occur in the near future. This is the reason why I created a free Discord server that anyone can join. It is currently the case that 100 of us are working toward the goal of becoming financially independent by instructing others on how to make the most money possible during this bull market. To become a member, please click on the link that is provided in the description below. Consider reading this article from the Blockchain Daily. A senior managing director and global head of equity and foreign exchange products at CME, Tim McCaw, is the author of this piece. He is also the global head of these products. It is not a coincidence, in my opinion, that some of the most significant open interest days and volume-based futures have occurred since the introduction of exchange-traded funds ETFs. This ecological system is moving at a breakneck pace. When Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange-traded funds ETFs went live and performed well, this became a